What is up? What is going on, Jeromes? We are back. It is the Daily Jeromes live stream, 11 a.m. Monday through Friday. Well, no, Monday through Thursday. Nailed it. Got a lot to get to today. Remember, we are taking tomorrow off, going to an undisclosed location. So obviously that's when the Vikings will sign Snacks Harrison. It's okay. I will be okay. Although him signing with the Seahawks, that sort of pisses me off. Never need him. Well, I guess it's better than him signing with the Packers because that would just be no bueno. Cancel. There you go. All right, so we got some Q&A. We got some random stuff. The hot dish is out. We did some Nashville hot chicken. It's phenomenal. It's a good time. Go check that out on the channel. If you want to support the work, hit up purpleftw.com/support. All the ways you can support us, all of our great sponsors. If you want to put a jelly bean on the game, check that out. It's going to be good times. All right, so live chat rise up. Also join the Discord. Link is in the top left corner of the screen. Go put it over there. Got almost 200 Jeromes hanging out, talking ish. It's good times. We commiserate together. It's always great. Yeah. All right, so let's get into the questions. And we'll give a couple of shout-outs here in a sec. World War II General Vince Vaughn. Also remembered 2016 when the team was 5-0 after the first 5 weeks. Came in and tell me how that end of September football is not important as October football, is not important as November football, blah, blah, blah. Except I think people knew that 5-0 team were greatly overachieving. They were way over their skis. Like, they had multiple defensive scores, multiple special teams scores. So it was just the Vikings were getting the positive part of variance, and it wasn't going to be sustainable. Sam showed back. We're going to get Andy's Stupid Gambling Show back this year, please. I mean, we could do it. YouTube is not very friendly to the wagering of jelly beans. So, yeah. Also, it's like, we do a lot of stuff. Ben Weatherly. Here's a scenario. We crap out this season and get a top quarterback in the draft. He sits behind Cousins for a year, and then he's about to be named starter when Zim says those words. He doesn't practice well. Of course, that's going to happen. I mean, Trey Lance, Trey Lance, he just doesn't practice well. Like, I understand that whenever he gets in preseason, he slays, and whenever he's gotten a start for when Kirk got abducted by aliens, he's great, but he doesn't do very well in practice. That annoys me. Charlie Boltman. New theory. It's going to be hard to get a top pick, even top 5. Let's just hope the Dolphins get it, draft Lawrence, and trade to a la Josh Rosen style. I could honestly see every one of these teams moving there coming to get a top 3 pick. Dolphins, Falcons, Browns. Yeah, the Falcons are weird, man. Dan Quinn and... why am I blanking? Oh, Dimitrov. Yeah, nailed it. He's one of my favorite GMs too. Yeah, they may not be long for Atlanta, and I don't know how long that they'll continue to roll with Matt Ryan. Let's look at Matt Ryan's contract. Schedule. Just trying to close tabs, man. All right. Spot rack Matt Ryan. All right, so, well, they're tied to him at least through next year. So they got some pretty significant dead cap issues. So his 2021 contract must be fully guaranteed, right? Yeah, the 2022 roster bonus. All right, next up. Westworld, what did the scientist say when he found 2 isotopes of helium? I don't know what. Hee. Ron Singh. Oh, gosh. I got to find that. All right. Dad joke. The tinfoil hat fell. That's got to be a sign. Halloween. Ma'am. Witch. Yeah, this is just great. Like, all the dad joke memes, they're just coming in. I love this one. All right, do you get it? So entire family dresses witches. Man witch. Come on, son. I think that's just a sign of getting Should we worry about the depth of cornerback given the injuries to Hughes and Dantzler? Yes. Yes. Holton Hill's got to step his ass up. Well, I guess we can't cut him anymore. El Jefe Gladney's going to have to do better than his debut. Harrison Hand, Chris Boyd, come on down until Dantzler gets back from the ribs. I think they should shut Mike Hughes down. He wasn't playing well. Necks are nothing to joke around about. Billy Long. The more I watch Trey Lance and Justin Fields, it's kind of hard to say tank for Trevor. I mean, they're all good. They all bring a little something to the table. But also, so this happens with draft picks. It's if they return to college or if they're not eligible to come out yet, where, say, all right, so Trevor Lawrence has been doing the damn thing since he was a true freshman, right? And there's something about when you come back. Like if you have amazing season, like say Joe Burrow had that amazing season, but somehow still at eligibility was able to come back this year, they would pick his game apart because the media and I feel like fans, like we love us some shiny new objects, and it's just like, oh yeah, him, old hat. So I feel like there's almost some Trevor Lawrence fatigue, and they're just you're just starting to have cognitive dissonance and be like, oh yeah, that guy, the best can't miss quarterback prospect of the past 25 years. Yeah, screw him. What about these other guys? Nah, Trevor Lawrence is still the dude. LM. Viking season went sideways quick. Zimmer's D looks washed up. QBX play calling. Plays like he was retired from the league before Zim pulled him back in. Old school thinking is getting us nowhere. Time for a change. How long till the Vikings are calling PJ Fleck head coach? I don't know if PJ's shtick would work in the NFL. Like, it really works with 18, 19-year-old kids. But when you have grown-ass men making grown-ass money, I don't know, man. You could argue that it works for Pete, obviously, but Andy Shong. Which current Vikings player would you choose to go hike with? Let's see. Who could I outrun in a foot race in case we come across a bear? Probably Pat Elflein or Shamar Stephen. Current Packers player you would go to the State Fair with? I feel like Kenny Clark would be a hoot. Plus, he'd just really get after it. Current Lions player you would go fish with? Ragnow. Yeah, Frank Ragnow, Minnesota guy. Pride Chanhassen. He's awesome. Current Bears player you would hunt with? Cordero will be hilarious. Come on. I got to pick Cordero and shit. Come on. Max McElroy. We need to cut some receivers. Who are the two that you would cut? Also put JJ at wide receiver 2. I would cut Sharp and BB. It's pretty easy. Henrik Byerlev, is Kyle Hinton really that far away, or does the organization really believe that the likes of Dozier and crew are that much better? Hinton seems like a wrecking ball with a nice low center of gravity with grown match strength. Yeah, guys like Hinton, guys like Oli Udoh would not be a liability in the trenches. Hinton is an athletic freak. He absolutely is. And, frankly, yes, I understand that Dozier's been in the scheme. Samia's been in the scheme, even though we'll give Samia a couple more chances. But, I mean, you can't really tell me that Kyle Hinton, don't care that he's coming up from Washburn, don't care that he was a 7th round pick. He does have NFL caliber size and strength and anchor already, that he wouldn't be like, would he be that worse? And if he is worse, would he be worse? That doesn't make sense. I went full Yogi Berra on that one, but yeah. Andy Maxfield. So would it be crazy to extend O'Neal midseason before he gets even more expensive? Hell, we talked about extending him before the season. We thought that it was a good idea because Brian O'Neal's playing himself into some Lane Johnson type money, and that's not hyperbole. Cyberbully123. The Vikings this year have made me switch from drinking beer to Four Locos. I have Tannehill, Corey Davis, and Jonnu Smith in fantasy. Should I start all 3? No. Absolutely not. Like Tannehill without A.J. Brown. Yeah, Corey Davis, bust. Row the boat. Jonnu Smith. Tight end position's been really thin. Jonnu's looking pretty damn good. So maybe Jonnu. Toby Larone. Vikings are only good in odd years like 17, 19. I don't believe in any of that hooey. I don't. They're just like, Zimmer's like, it's an even year. We'll suck. We're going to suck this year. Nah, it's just fooled by randomness. Next up is Naderl13. What do you think are the realistic odds Vikings end up with Trevor Lawrence looking at the difficulty remaining schedule? 50-50. Either it happens or it don't. Let us know where you're watching from. We'll give a couple of shout outs. I always like doing that. 77 AO Costa, Skull from Northern Virginia. What up? The disappointed Vikings fan. Realistically, if Kirk continues to perform the way that he does, do you see him getting traded after the end of the season? Well, we talked about how Shanahan loves Kirk. He wanted Kirk. He did not want Garoppolo. Garoppolo has really done nothing to solidify his spot. So, I mean, if the Niners just feel like they're still one player away and that player is said quarterback, maybe they do pull the trigger because they can get out from Garoppolo's deal really cheaply. Actually, next to nothing. Oakview. Look on the bright side. Timberwolves are going in a good direction with the number one overall pick in KG, hopefully. Bring on KG ownership. I would love to see it. BRB, get those shout-outs in. Gonna go take a piss. Also, what's cool too, you guys have no idea if I have pants on or not. It's fun. A couple shout outs. Tyler W. Skull from Post Falls, Idaho. What's going on? Jack Namey, Skull from Minnetonka. What's going on, Western Burbs? Chris Jan, Skull from Vegas, Jealous. Purple Rain, Skull from Wausau, Wisconsin. Jabrisky, Skull from Winona, Minnesota. What? Cross the river. Jack Namey, Skull from Minnetonka. Ryan Butel, Skull from Western North Dakota. Originally from Waconia. What's going on? Westworld, Skull from Niagara Falls. Buffalo. Ugh. Volek Trobo. Billy Long, Skull from Hannibal, Missouri. Joseph Coventry, Skull from ABQ. What up? I do basketball, St. Paul. What's going on? And Mano J. Skull from Wausau. Carson Skiles, Skull from Kansas. Related to Scott Skiles? That'd be sweet. Anyways, thanks for coming along on today's live stream. Next up is Trey Billmeyer, senior deer wallet hunting. Saw 2 on Saturday, saw 1 on Monday, and we'll see about today and Friday. Eric Hansen, hypothetically, if the Vikings go 0-16 this year, how does the rest of the NFC North finish, and will the NFL team, and which NFL team gets the second overall pick? Lions will go 1-15. Wait, no, I guess I have to do better. Lions will go 2-14. They will have the number 2 overall pick. Bears will go 6-10. I don't want to talk about the Packers. Kaiser Helm 14. Put us at number 1. We go 0-16. So our power rankings where everything is legit except for the rankings of the Vikings, the Bears, the Lions, and the Saints. People get so mad. Yeah, we almost have more dislikes than likes on our ranking videos because people just don't understand. They're like, how can the Vikings lose to the Colts and actually move up? It's really, really funny. Like, if you want pure comedy gold, just watch it for the comments from our weekly power rankings. Like, people are going to lose their shit. It's great. Westworld, Kendricks Davis duo looking mean. On rundowns, yes. I do basketball. Elfline Sharp Bar and a third to the Jets for Jordan Jenkins and a protected first. The Yarbrough BB to the Broncos for their first and like Duke Dawson. Tristan D. 531. I'm extremely nervous to have top pick because I'm worried the Vikings will F it up. We didn't draft Trevor Lawrence because we have Kirk Cousins. Yeah, they'll take Patrick Surtain and then he'll just bust. Or they'll take Penny Sewell and he'll bust. Viking Jerome, is Uncle Rico available? Traveler, just picked up a muzzle loader. You ever shot one? Thoughts? I did shoot one. I could not tell you the name or brand of it, but it is kind of cool. And, you know, muzzleloader, hunting's funny because it's like, everyone's like, I like this level of technology because, I mean, obviously, well, most states you can't have like two-way communication. Like you can't be on the walkie-talkie with your buddy. It's like, oh, he's over to the left. But I mean, if you wanted to do this as simple as possible, we just get drones. All right. But, you know, rifle, fine. Bow and arrow, absolutely fine. But then if you want like a nice little medium, the muzzleloader is the way to go because less accurate. A lot of states you're not allowed to have a scope, so you just have to use the iron sights, as well as it is. Yep, it is a skill. I mean, firing, getting that second shot ready to go, in case you have to take a second poke at it. I mean, I do know like a handful of bow hunters who, you know, if they strike out during bow season, you know, they won't go rifle or shotgun, but they will go muzzleloader. Just as like, yeah, we'll just get one to fill the freezer, right? To be honest, I've really cooled on rifle and shotgun hunting. Well, probably more shotgun just because being here in southern Minnesota, we're stuck in shotgun territory. But, I mean, it's a pain in the ass. Like, the recoil hurts. They're not very accurate. They're not very far. Like, you can't shoot far and just, like, maybe I'll just go muzzleloader. Who cares? Caesar Augustus. Is Kirk Cousins the free agent version of Herschel Walker now that we have 2+ years to judge the similarities? No. I mean, Kirk Cousins had the best season of his career last year. Remember Kirktober? We'll remember Kirktober. Travis G. Tank for Trevor or lose for Lawrence? Tank for Trevor. Lose for Lawrence is a little bit too long. Ruben Bajaras. If the Vikings start a fire sale after week 6, who do you think are the first ones to go? I think Daniil. I think they would trade Daniil. Daniil, possibly Kendricks, maybe Harrison. God, that'd be crazy. That would be crazy. Maybe Anthony Harris. Maybe Yannick gets traded again. Who knows? Sklars, do you think Justin Jefferson should replace BC Johnson as our second receiver soon if BC keeps playing like this? Yes. Sklars, do you think that Spielman is going to take a quarterback if you're in the prime position to get one next draft? I mean, really takes quarterbacks, and there's still that O-line problem. I think he will. I think he'll see the writing on the wall that you can draft your quarterback of the future while you still have the quarterback of the present. It's not really an indictment on said quarterback. A couple more shouts. Alexander Arroyo, Skull from Tennessee. Scott Fegan, Skull from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. What's going on? Ethan Griffith, Mendota Heights, as well as that's it. Yeah. Next up is Eric Hansen. What are your top 3 ways the Vikings end up with a top 5 defense this season? Controversial answers only. Nancy Kerrigan on everyone. All the other quarterbacks get the Rona. About it. Violet Valkyrie. Bengals, Broncos, Eagles, Giants, Panthers. Which team goes 0-16? Bengals are feisty. I like the Bengals. Ooh, man. If the Eagles keep playing the way that they've been playing, plus they've been hit with injuries, that's rough. Giants could certainly be there. I think Panthers will get it right. I think Matt Rule and Teddy and everyone will get things going. Plus McCaffrey will be back. Broncos. Well, without Sutton and now Drew Lock went down, maybe. I'd say, Broncos and Giants. If I had to pick one, Giants. Brett Vuvuzelis. Do you see us taking our franchise quarterback in the 2021 draft? Yes. Bawa Taba, if the Jets get the number 1 pick, should they draft Trevor? Depends on how Darnold plays. Because I do like Sam Darnold, but there is just an absolute train wreck around him. Because they're talking about that maybe Crowder might miss a game, and his receiving core is atrocious. The offensive line is bad. Le'Veon Bell's dinged up, although he was no great shakes. I mean, that is just a mess of a team. And I don't think it's necessarily on Darnold. So if I was the Jets, I would auction off that number 1 overall pick. Like some team will trade up for Lawrence, and I'll trade down. I'll take Penny Sewell, him and Becton, be your tackles of the future, and go from there. Vince Vaughn again. So in live tanking questions, let's remember some 2017 with 13-3, first 4 games are 2-2, backup quarterback without Dalvin Cook. Then went on a stretch, and so let's put away the noose and gunpowder and put our goddamn smiley faces on and keep hope alive. Yeah, but it's fun to swing massively every single week. Even I'll admit that. Just winning the Super Bowl, like beat the Titans on a last-second field goal, a very ugly game. Maybe the Vikings luck box into it. Maybe a couple calls actually go their way, and it's like Super Bowl homeboy or tank. Tristan D 531. The Vikings go 1-15 or 2-14. Do you think the Wolves will blame Kirk Cousins since the contract is easiest to work around? Maybe. Probably not. Jack Nami. Thoughts on prospect Jamie Newman, Georgia. Seems like he could be an underrated dual threat quarterback, possibly second round choice in case of possibly. So I like Newman because he was out of Wake Forest, right? And he transferred to Georgia. I didn't dig too much into his tape. I just remember casually watching some of his games, being impressed. I'm also really jonesing for Derek King, who was at Houston. Now he's at Miami. I like Tanner Morgan. I think there's some more questions about his game. Brock Purdy, I know that he gets a lot of love, but I do have some major questions about him as well. But it's going to be an interesting draft for the quarterbacks because some of these guys aren't going to play. Some of them are going to play X number of games, and it's going to be all over the place. Also, love for Minnetonka. What's your experience with the city of Minnetonka? Well, it's obviously a nice city or a nice burb. You guys have a great lake that is ruined by jabronis. It just really is. I mean, Lake Minnetonka is a great fishing and recreation lake, but it has turned into like everyone, every douchebag who can rent a boat just gets out there with a bunch of Instagram thoughts and then it may just be the old man to me, because obviously that sounds a lot more fun when I'm in my 20s, but now that I'm a little bit older, I'm just like, I just want a quiet lake with good fishing and no jet skis. I mean, that's all we want. Traveler, 8-8. Well, all right. So obviously, people have the right. It's public. It's public water. You can do what you want. But I do find that jet skis and some power boats, they definitely don't take into account like the wakes that they're kicking up, as well as just the politeness and courtesy for other people out there. You'll see that a lot. Traveler, 8-8. 8-8 may still get us in the playoffs this year. Not pretty, but we can steadily improve while getting Hunter back, sneak and cause some damage carry over next season. Screw tanking and losing on purpose noise. Like, I know that people are bitching. It's like, well, if you're just getting the playoffs, you'll just lose. Said that last year. Like, what would be so wrong about the Vikings getting the 7th seed? They're getting off the mat. They're getting healthy, and they're getting right at the right time. They're getting some momentum at the proper time. Then they tear up the playoffs like we know that the Vikings are capable of doing, and they just make it to Tampa. Then they hoist at Jerome Barty. So they're going to bitch about making the playoffs? Huh? No. Colin. Like, I will never understand why some fans don't want to make the playoffs. Get in the dance. You always have a shot. Colin Andrist, why don't the Vikings actually sign Snacks and cornerback help? That's a good question. They realize it's a problem. They don't do anything about it. Absolutely. Also, I love your channel. I thought the Vikings record prediction video was good, 14-2. Yeah, people got so mad about that too. Pulford Skull, I agree with PFF. Trade a draft pick to the Saints and sign Jameis Winston. No. Try to salvage the season. If it don't work, still get draft high. No. No, Jameis is straight booty. Like, Jameis is butt cheeks. He is not good. Bryson Kent. Let's be honest with ourselves. We're not going to be picking number 1 overall, so no Trevor, sadly. As long as we keep Zimmer, he'll be in Rick's ear during draft night wanting defense. So who would pick defensively in our first round if we don't pick a quarterback? Zimmer shouldn't be the head coach anymore. Well, they'll take one of the defensive ends. Like, they'll take the Miami dude if they don't resign Yannick. Hell, even if they do resign Yannick, Zimmer will just try and change the guy into a linebacker. Robert Barweiler. How long do you think it will take Zimmer to sit Holton Hill? He may not have a choice. Like, if they keep losing cornerbacks, Holton Hill might be the last man standing out there. Pulford Skull. The problem with a whiff on quarterback is management does not want to address or even talk about the issue because it admits that fault and they could lose their jobs. Takes owners with a backbone and say, if you won't fix this, I will, you're fired. Unless you're Steve Keim and the Cardinals, and then you get all the chances in the world. Like, literally all the chances. My God. Also, he is the only GM who has recently been in prison. That's not a lie either. Jake Simmons. Would our defense be good if Pierce didn't opt out and Hunter wasn't injured? Yes. Yes, it would be damn fine. Also, if you could bring back one player of the Vikings out of retirement in their prime and put on the current team, who would it be? I mean, Randy Moss is the easy answer. So outside of Moss, Hutchinson or Randall McDaniel at one of those guard spots, or hell, bring them both. Damn, Gina. John Randall, even though the Vikings do struggle against the run, getting some of that quick penetration would be monstrous. Other than that, Antoine Winfield. Yeah. T-Rag. Why do you think so many players are getting hurt? Also, is there a fix for our salary cap situation where we can get a big-time free agent this offseason? Restructure Daniil or Thielen. Why so many players getting hurt? Well, if it was like hamstrings or something like that, it could be like, okay, so it's lack of conditioning from no OTAs, limited training camp, and no preseason. But the fact that's ACLs, you could chalk it up to randomness since it was all over, it was all different stadiums. Like, maybe you look at the field turf. I don't think that's necessarily the issue. I think it's just really SOL, like just a bunch of really terrible luck all at once. Jesse Ford. Should we tank the rest of the season for Lawrence or Fields? No. Patrick Harms. Elfline should just be the only player on the team. He blocks the snaps for himself, throws it, and hands it off to himself. We put up at least 40. Then put him on defense. He'll get tons of sacks and 1 man. Actually, I do wonder if Pat Elfline, like, move him to quarterback, have him be like Jared Lorenzen RIP, the hefty lefty. God, he was great. God, he was awesome. Yeah. It's all good. All right, Jerome, sorry, we're going to cut this a little bit short. We're out of cues. Also, I'm off to an undisclosed location. It's going to be a lot of fun. Again, no live stream on Friday, but keep hope alive. We'll be back Monday, 11 a.m. Central Time. Be good to each other, and let's have fun. Win, lose, or draw. Let's have some fun on Sunday. Until next time, Skull, production value.